What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another late night in the BrewLab with me, Lone Fox, your Brewmaster-in-Chief. And tonight, in the BrewLab, we are continuing on this little mini-series. Probably as I'm recording this, the debut event for the March of the Machine set, which is due to be released on Arena on April 18th, is probably live right now. As soon as I'm done recording, I can't wait to go and see, because I'm really excited about this set. I've been following the story. I've been reading the story, and it's at least thematically very much on point, and it's wrapping up this whole Phyrexia cycle. So I'm really excited for the new set. But I'm rambling. We're here to play some Explorer. We're here to look at the next deck in this little mini series. For those of you who have been following along, you'll know what's coming. So without further ado, let's jump into tonight's brews, plural, because I have two versions. We're playing Selesnya Angels, and yeah, there's a V1, which is something a little bit more cookie cutter, something that I went and net decked, like the filthy net decker that I am. And then there's a version 2, which is a little bit more of a BrewLab version. So stay tuned for that. We're going to be splitting tonight's gameplay footage between the two versions and, you know, draw some conclusions, maybe make a little bit of a fusion of the two, maybe cut some things from the one, add some things to the other. But we're going to be starting with version 1, the little bit more net decky version. And so let's jump right into it, shall we? First thing that sticks out to me, I mean, the mana base, I got this off the internet, right? And the first thing that sticks out to me is it's a mono white Angels deck that splashes green for just one card, Collected Company. For those of you who've never played Explorer, or who are kind of a bit newer to Arena, or at least Magic in general, you may not know this card, but it's obviously incredibly busted. It forms the backbone of many decks, especially like low to the ground creature decks, like Selesnya Angels is, because you get to look at the top 6 cards of your library, put 2 creatures with mana value 3 or less from among them onto the battlefield. So you need to, you know, have only creatures pretty much in the deck, that where you're going to get hits almost every time, and it's instant speed, which is obviously busted. So we're trying to build up a little bit of an early game with some 1 and 2 drops, and then, you know, at some point, like hopefully on turn 4, slam the Collected Company, flood the board with Angels, and do stupid, silly, bonkers, broken Angel stuff. I mean, the ability for this deck to just come back out of nowhere is insane because of the amount of life gain that you can get from it. But the second thing that immediately stuck out to me, which is connected to the first, is, you know, it being such a, I mean, if you go look at the it's 89% white, 11% green. Why is there so much green in the mana base? I think we could easily get away. I mean, and there's 4 basic forests. This, again, is the one I got off Untapped. Why is there this much green in the mana base? If there's just 1 green pip out of the entire deck. Is it really that important to cast this on turn 4? I mean, oftentimes it takes a bit of maneuvering before you fire off that perfect Collected Company. Especially when you're playing against control or, you know, heavy removal decks. I just don't understand why there needs to be this much green in the mana base. I mean, things like Boseiju makes sense because you're gonna be using it for it's a utility land. It has another use other than just providing you with mana. But then the rest is just dual lands. Some of them even not that good. Like Temple Garden is a shock land. You don't want to be losing life in this deck. So I just, maybe I'm missing something, and I'm not enough of a Explorer player to know what the hell I'm talking about, but I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Why is the version from Untapped got so much green in the mana base when we all only need to cast is 1 green card out of the whole deck? Please let me know in the comments what you think. But regardless, there are enough duels and the pathways and other just plain old white sources that it has not been a problem at all to play all of our stuff on curve. So again, please let me know. The only thing I've done of my own is, because I didn't have the full playset of the Temple Garden that was in the original, is I put in a A-Bretagard Stronghold. Just a sneaky one of A-Bretagard Stronghold. It's just I thought it would be a pretty nice fit. It enters the battlefield tapped. It's one of those lands from Kaldheim. And you can pay 1 green, 2 white, tap it, sacrifice it, distribute 2+1/+1 counters among 1 or 2 creatures you control. They gain vigilance and lifelink until end of turn. So this has actually been really nice in testing, like the odd time when it comes up. The lifelink, of course, fits perfectly with the whole angel thing that we're going. And the vigilance is great against things like Wandering Emperor and whatnot. So yeah, that's my only real adjustment. Everything else I've left exactly as I found on Untapped. And I think you'll recognize a lot of these cards. Lunarch Veteran is still in standard right now. Whenever a creature's into the battlefield under your control, you gain 1 life. I mean, the whole name of the game here is to gain as much life as possible. That's what angels do best. We've also got Speaker of the Heavens, which I actually kind of missed. This was in my cleric tribal decks for a long time. There wasn't really, because I never really played Explorer, there hasn't been like a super strong angels deck, other than maybe like a tier 2 Orzhov angels when we had the Firja's Retribute, you know, I think it was Kaldheim. We had those amazing angel based sagas in Kaldheim, but this was more of a cleric card, but it's obviously fantastic in the deck. It's got vigilance and lifelink, and then you can tap it to create a 4/4 white angel creature token with flying. You can only activate it if you have at least 7 more life than your starting life total, which is the very same line of text as another old friend from Kaldheim, the Righteous Valkyrie, which is really what makes the whole deck just hum along fantastically. Whenever another angel or cleric enters the battlefield under your control, you gain life equal to its toughness. As long as you have 7 or more life than your starting life total, again, same like the spirit, then it gives all of your creatures +2/+2, and they're not legendaries, so you can have multiple copies of Righteous Valkyrie in play. And this is the main card, which is with Collected Company, you can just, you cast an instant speed Collected Company, suddenly you gain like freaking 20 life in 1 turn. It's ridiculous how broken some turns can be with this deck. But that's not the only one. We've also got the Bishop of Wings here, from core set 20. Whenever an angel enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 4 life. You can see where we're going with this. Like, almost everything does that. The Inspiring Overseer, gain 1 life, draw a card. So a card draw in the deck. But it doesn't end there. The real nice one that I've noticed with this particular version is when you have the Lunarch Veteran in play, whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 1 life. And you've got the Bishop of Wings. So you go turn 1 Veteran, turn 2 Bishop of Wings, turn 3 Resplendent Angel. The Resplendent Angel says that if you've gained 5 or more life this turn, you create a 4/4. So it is 4 life from the Bishop of Wings, +1 from the Lunarch Veteran, total of 5. So, on turn 3, you're adding another 7 power to the battlefield, because you'll, at the end of turn, also create another 4/4 Flying Angel with Vigilance. And of course, if that's all happening on top of a Righteous Valkyrie, it's just life. Busted. We've also got Giada in here, which is still in standard from Streets of New Capenna. Also a very important piece of the deck, which has probably done most of late, since the Righteous Valkyrie, then Giada. Like, these two cards together have really helped push Selesnya Angels to the, let's face it, tier 1 deck that it is in at least best of 1 Explorer. You can tap it to, add a white mana, which you can spend only to cast angel spells, and then each subsequent angel that enters the battlefield when Giada is in play gets an additional +1/+1 counter. So they just get huger and huger, and that's going to help. Again, I'm not going to repeat myself. I'm sure you've all understood what the game plan here is. And then we've also got the Youthful Valkyrie, which benefits from angels entering the battlefield. It gets a +1/+1 counter for everyone that happens. Gets huge, and everything has flying, and you just boom, slam the opponent to death. Speaking of spiky, sneaky one-offs, I always keep those for the end of these BrewTechs. We've got a sneaky one-off Ajani, Strength of the Pride. You can just +1, gain life equal to the number of creatures you control, plus the number of planeswalkers you control. So, if you're in those weird situations where you're like on the cusp of getting to that 27 life required for all of these things to function, then you just slam a Johnny +1, gain a bunch of life because you may have like 3-4 creatures in play, plus a Johnny, so it ends up being like 5-6 life or something, and then just not only that, you can make this little Pride Mate. We all remember the Pride Mate. Whenever you gain life, gets a +1/+1 counter, so similar in a sense to the Youthful Valkyrie. I mean, it being a one-of in the deck, it's come about a few times in testing, but it's really not that essential. But then there's this pretty sweet negative 0 loyalty ability where if you have at least 15 or more life, then your starting life, exile a Johnny, and each artifact and creature your opponent controls. So like a bit of a board wipe situation. And again, we can quite easily, especially for the stalemates, this is nice, like when you just top deck it in the super late game against a mirror or something, wipe the board of all the opponent's creatures, and that'll usually win you the game. So that is the deck. Other interesting lands, other than the A-Bretagard Stronghold, is a sneaky one of Cave of the Frost Dragon. I've got one Eiganjo here. I've talked about the Boseiju. Really nothing more to add. Let's jump into some games and see how the deck performs on the Mythic late season Mythic ladder. Almost drawing to the end of the season here, guys. Whew. It's been a good one. I thoroughly have been enjoying both Standard and Explorer, actually. Even though Explorer is a bit silly and broken. I've at least enjoyed the difference, the refreshing, you know, not exactly knowing what the opponent's playing every single game, and not having Invoked Despairs and wandering Emperors cast on me every single game, and, you know, having every second game be against mono red and things like that. It's been fun. A 65%er? Oh, this is gonna be easy. Sure. On the play, let's go for it. Wow, I don't think I've ever seen anybody this low in Mythic. This guy must have been testing all kinds of jank. Now we can use the mana from Giada. What's this thing? Amazing animation. Bye. Okay. What does this thing do? Maybe trying to do some milling or something, but off you got. On to the next one. I guess mono blue in Explorer is the only one that's worth talking about is Spirits. Someone tried to mill me out with a crab earlier, believe it or not. Haven't seen that stupid crab for a while. Tell you that much, I don't miss it being a Standard at all. But there is a new mill deck emerging in Standard with the Teresian Mind Flayer and the new Jace Planeswalker, the Completed Mind. I actually got milled out the other day, so may have to give that a try once we get back to Standard. Skittle Dittle. Probably playing Boros Heroic. No. Maybe. No. Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. So if he does that again next turn, that's pretty bad, right? I mean, eek. Because he can just do another 4. Ah, goodness. Very strong deck. Go and look at my video from the other day. Let's see. Yeah, he's got the protection. Of course he does. But that doesn't stop it from dying. Does it? Dealt damage. Ah. Whoops. Cleric. Angel. See, like, why have all these green sources? I just don't get it. He just needs one more of those, what's it called? Reckless Rage, and we're... I'm ready to scoop it up. I think we've lost this one quite easily. Definitely lost this one. Probably like, oh, okay. Let's give this a try. We got the main reason for playing this deck, right? Collected Company off the top. A lot of damage, man. Never say never with angels. Ah, finally another white source. So that means we can go like this. Gain like 8 life, 9 life. Got El Chump Blockerino. Here in the form of the Spirit for the Virtuoso. He needs that card that gives protection from a color. Thanks for another chump blocker. I'll take it. Oh, God. Come on, man. Give me a break, dude. Are you kidding me with this shit? Unbelievable. Unbelievable, man. Just unbelievable. That is the biggest crock of shit I've seen in a long time, man. Jeez. Just unbelievable. Nice, man. Lucky you. Can you imagine being that lucky? And now he's got that. Okay. Good for you. Boros Heroic, ladies and gentlemen, the best budget deck in Explorer. This is the only rare except for the lands. Everything else is commons and uncommons. Super consistent, super reliable. You know, just really, really busted deck. Probably the one I enjoyed playing the most from this miniseries. Definitely my kind of style. And like I said, just so easy to just craft up. You don't need much. Anybody who's just looking to like get into the format and doesn't have too many wild cards, Boros Heroic should definitely be on your radar. Especially in Best of One. It was close there for a second. I thought we'd turn the corner when we got that bit of life gain, but the opponent managed to top deck the removal spell. Seems good to me. Seems very good to me. We just need a 2-drop. Like our old friend, the Bishop of Wings off the top, would be the ideal draw. We're on the play again, which is also very nice. By the way, if you can't tell from my beautiful sleeves, I've gone and bought the bundle. I'm as ready as can be for the new set. Luluzinha. Okay, green devotion. Let's go. Found our 4th land. I guess we just got a collected company next turn, right? If we get there. I mean, this deck is off. Like, ridiculously hard. There we go. Good luck getting around this. 65 life on turn 4. Play another Righteous Valkyrie and win the game next turn, basically, right? There's no way. It's the Cavalier of Thorns that has reach. I don't think he'll be able to fire off enough anything really to deal with it. That's the proper busted turn. That's what you want to see. I'm gonna remove some green sources. Again, this was the one once I filtered my premium untapped to Mythic only, Explorer best of 1, and I picked the top win rate version of Selesnya Angels. And this is the mana base that I was given. And you saw how much it hurt us there in game 1, not being able to cast some of those things. So I'm actually just gonna... Well, first of all, let's just see what the auto tapper does. I mean, the auto lander. Okay, I'm gonna drop a green. Let's at least do that, right? It's 1 win, 1 loss. Bit of a bad luck match against Boris Heroic. And an easy breeze through against Mono Green Devotion. Collected company in hand. Let's go. So this enters the if you control 2 or more lands. On the play again. Great. Hello, Bishop. We're looking good. We're looking very good. Okay, it's a mirror. One life short of the required to make. Okay, we win, we win, we win, we win, we win. Because now we're gonna make another one. Oh no! Whoops. My bad. That was a complete misplay. opponent's bricking, we win anyway, I think. I mean, these matches go crazy stupid. Now, okay. Bye-bye. It's never that special when you just win because the opponent doesn't have lands, but still. It's one mirror out the way. Those can be some crazy stupid games, like they just go on forever. It almost ends up being a case of who gives up first. Alright, this is probably the final match with version 1. How are we doing for time? Alright, almost half an hour in. I still want to show you guys the BrewLab edition. Jackaxe. Jackaxe. Yes, 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 yes. Mono white aggro. The 4 toughness on the bishop. Great as a 2-drop against most decks, except for that particular spell in Boros Heroic that just... Skadoosh. Again, 4 toughness. This deck is so broken. You can't attack, dude. So broken. So broken. I mean, you just played the cards in your hand. The decisions aren't very many or difficult. Like, it's just, like I said, play the cards in your hand, win the game. So that's it for version 1, the net decky version. We can all see why it's so broken. But now I wanted to show you my BrewLabified version. So without further ado, let's jump into the second of tonight's brews. Selesnya Angels V2. And here we are going a very similar path, lots of the same cards as you can see, but a slightly different direction. We also have access to Kayla's Reconstruction, which is from the Brothers War. You get to look at the top 7 cards of your library, put up to X artifacts and or creature cards with mana value 3 or less from among them onto the battlefield, the rest onto the bottom of your library in a random order. There's a little bit more removal. We've got the Skyclave Apparition, if you don't remember, this card from Zendikar Rising. When it enters the battlefield, you can exile a target non-land, non-token permanent you don't control with mana value 4 or less. And then when it leaves the battlefield, you give the opponent back the he gets back an illusion token that is star, and X is the mana value of the exiled card. The cool thing here is that we get to play some Nykthos. I threw this in because we have obviously quite a lot of White Devotion, and then we can use all of that mana to cast a gigantic Kayla's Reconstruction. In testing, I've done a monster one. So this essentially, I mean, it's not instant speed like Collected Company, but essentially means you've got 7 now, at least. I mean, I've seen decks that play a full playset of the Kayla's Reconstruction alongside the Collected Company, just like another Coco. At sorcery speed, but that can dig deeper potentially if you have the mana for it, and can also hit artifacts, which is why I've put some portable holes in the deck. I've also stuck in a sneaky one of Realmwalker, which is one of the shapeshifters from Kaldheim. If you don't remember, you can when it ETBs, pick a creature type, and then you can look at the top card of your library at any time, and you can cast spells of the chosen type off the top of your library. I thought that was pretty cool, just as another way to flood the board with angels as quickly as possible. But then the rest is very much the same game plan. There's instead of the Ajani sneaky one of, we got a sneaky one of Resplendent Marshal. This is another Angel Warrior from Kaldheim. It's a 3/3. When it ETBs or dies, you may exile another creature card from your graveyard. When you do, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control other than the Resplendent Marshal that shares a creature type with the exiled card. So, you know, you're going to probably be exiling an Angel, and then you can, like, pump up your whole team that way, which I thought was pretty nice. So I stuck in a sneaky one of those. Those are my 2 sneaky one-offs. Don't really need to talk about the rest of the Angels. We all know what they do. So, yeah. Mana base also, kind of took the template from the first version 1 and made some small adjustments. And I thought, like, maybe I was missing something, and I didn't want to stray too far from the original, but I cut all the green basics. I still put in my sneaky one of A-Bretagard Stronghold, and then just more basic planes. And I thought, okay, let's at least put one other thing with a green pip in the deck that, you know, justifies all of this green mana. And I think while I'm at it, I'm gonna go with that. Makes sense, I hope. Let's jump into some games. It's version 2. I'll leave both of them in the video description, and then I'll upload one or the other on the, you know, on the other hub and all of that. But very similar. I think just watching the video will give you enough of an idea what you prefer to do. Maybe kind of a combination of the two. We're clearly missing those very strong 1-drops from version 1. Whoa. Okay. I think we need to keep this. It's not spirits. Okay, Azorius Control. Very scary. This is a natural enemy of the deck. They get to turn 3, hit this with the sweeper. But we've got the 4th land for Coco. Okay, not entirely sure why you would do that. Maybe it wasn't Azorius Control, maybe more of a tempo deck and they didn't feel like they could get around us. But all you need is like one of your many sweepers that deck runs. I mean, we're playing Azorius Control tomorrow. I'm feeling very unbeatable with it. I've got a very good win rate, and I don't even play Control that well. It's I mean, again, I've said this a few times in the videos during this Explorer mini-series. It just feels like whichever archetype you want to get into in Explorer, you just have like the best card for each slot from the entirety of the cards available on Arena. So, I mean, Azorius Control is always a bit of a force in any sort of meta game. In Explorer, you get to just play all the best control cards. I don't see why it wouldn't be just bursted, but I think it's not fantastic, but anytime I see Coco, I'm tempted to keep it. Another mirror. Unless it's... okay, never mind. Got the 4th land. Cultivate. 1, 2, 3, 4 colors so far. Maybe Domain? Yeah. I mean, some sort of 5-color jank going on here. Let's go with the Realmwalker. Why not? Oof. Okay, double Coco. Wow. Ramp Man. They called him Professor Ramp. That is a lot of mana, mate. It's a scary amount of mana. saving these Cocos for post-sweeper, which is inevitably coming. As I thought. You're running counter spells? I guess you are. How many copies of Drag to the Bottom have you got in the deck? That is the question. But he's obviously also running the other... Oh, wow. Even better. Oh, I didn't miss you. Not one bit. We can get rid of that Mythic if we need to. Wow, long time no see. It's obviously going to target the bishop before it can go. Let's go. Swing, 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 swing. Bye-bye. Busted. A-Bretagard Stronghold. Nice. Very nice. Also Realmwalker. Got to cast it. Got to see a few cards off the top of our library. Happy with my version so far. I've been slapping the ladder with this thing, like easy peasy. And I mean, I guess it's not much due to any ingenuity of mine. It's still just collected company and busted angels. But I feel like I'm onto something. Okay, I mean, how can you turn that down? It's perhaps a tiny bit slow. But, you know, that's 3 of the second best card in the deck in your opening hand. I'll take it. Bishop or Valkyrie? Oh no. This is the Snapcaster type vibes. Is it tempo? You slimy little bugger. Man, this Anarchist is... Arcanist is broken card. Okay, so it has to be Valkyrie. It's got higher toughness, make it a little bit harder to kill. You can't have another one of those in hand, right? There we go. Now I gotcha. No, 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 no. Okay. Whew. Going for the Consider. Well, I'm clearly gonna kill your Iconoclast there, mate. Don't think you should have swung with that one. Oh, scary stuff. Scary stuff. Oh no, we're gonna take so much damage. This is GG. Wow. Busted. Nice, man. What a deck. Making me want to do this in standard. Right? I mean, that's just GG. Fairly certain that's just GG. Very well played. Very nice deck. I like that. That's the first time I've died to that on Explorer. Very nice. Well played, opponent. That's making me super excited to build a Balmor deck in standard. We don't quite have anything as busted as the Arcanist in standard right now, but we can give it a good old-fashioned try, that's for sure. How are we doing for time? Alright. Probably, if not the last match, the second to last. Depending on how long this one goes. Gregarg. I see Coco, I keep. Need mana though. Need mana. Just lands off the top every turn. Perfection. I like that. Also, plenty of removal. I've not got any idea what's going on. So I'm going to lead the way with the Realmwalker. Just in case we run into counter. There's our fourth land for Coco. Hell yeah. Ah, this is Bant Spirits. Oh, we're going to lose this. Oh, are we going to lose this one? Fairly certain. This deck is also just ridiculous. Such a broken deck. Spirits. There's this new one that everyone's raving about that came out with the new set that's just made it like even better. What? First of all, how did you just cast that? What? Sorry, I need to read these cards. Excuse me? Are you kidding me? Oops. Sorry, guys. I'm a newbie. I have no idea what I'm doing. Oh, wow, that was pathetic. I can't believe I fell for that. Okay, so let's try and do this. That's the new one. That's the one. This deck is too broken. I don't know how to get around it. It's really just too much. Just any spell, instant or sorcery spell. Watch him have another spell queller. How is that even allowed to be a thing. Like, that deck, that's the second time I've played it ever since we got into Explorer. Welcome to the new spirits. Like, if you're an Explorer player, I'm sure by now you've like this. Like, come on, man. You got every creature has flash or counters. What? Wow. This is why I can never get into this format. It's just, I will, like I said, this is going to be a thing. I'm going to be checking in on it every single time Standard gets stale towards the end of like a set release cycle. Just to revel in the bustedness. Like, it's so ridiculous. I just couldn't do anything in that. I mean, of course, I just completely walked into that card because I didn't read it. But regardless, he had another 2 cards in hands that would have countered my collected company. I wouldn't have won that no matter what I did. Read the card or don't read the card. I would have lost that. So, yay. Realmwalker. Love it how the shuffler always puts 1-ofs in your hand. Cool. There's Coco. You probably wished you'd thought seized that, don't you? Double thought seize, baby. Yay! Let's go. Now we can Coco off the Nykthos.
I'll have this fight finished before brunch.
Ah, one of your friends has to leave.
Or we just do a big old Kayla's.
I'm not interested in dying today.
I'm sorry. Harvester. That's not really gonna get you very far, my friend. I'm afraid. I got the 2 best cards in my deck. In hand. Land. Did you find one? Off you go. Alright, guys. I mean, I think we've seen enough of that. I would have really liked to... You know, this is the whole reason why I played Nykthos. Now we would have been able to... You know, we had 4... We need to tap 2, so we would have done... Okay, I mean, nothing ridiculous. We could have just cast. If we top deck another land, we could have done... X's 2. Okay, I mean, nothing great yet. But we were getting there. We could have collected company first and then probably go for big Kayla's Reconstruction the next turn. But I don't want this video to go on too long. So yeah. Got what got us? Boros Heroic, Bant Spirits. Yeah. What else did we lose to? I can't remember now, but just positive win rate overall. Would I recommend one or the other, or is there a way that we can sort of bring them together? I think so. I really liked the inclusion of some Skyclave Apparitions and Portable Holes just to give a little bit more removal. I think Kayla's Reconstruction is worth its spot, but maybe not at 3 of. Maybe you could go down to 2. Resplendent Marshal, maybe I would cut that. And things that I really liked from version 1, as you know, is to try and find a way to make space for the Speaker of the Heavens. You know, what would you cut? What would you do to make the 2 into 1? Like, is there an ultimate Selesnya Angels version? I think the Realmwalker is worth the sneaky 1-off spot. I like that. We didn't really get to see a Johnny in action, but I think that's also really worth it. So like it's I can see why there's very little wiggle room. The essentials are Bishop of Wings, Righteous Valkyrie, Resplendent Angel. These are like must-haves. They're the ones that just make you have those ridiculous explosive turns with, like, you know, there was one match that we were on like 65 life on turn 3 or something. You know, these are the ones that are helping you get there. And Collected Company is essential. So some sort of combination of the two is the way to go. But I've done way too much rambling. I think we can leave it at that. I really want to go and watch the debut video from March of the Machine. So I'm just going to end things by saying thank you all so much for watching. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I will see you all in the next one. And until then, this is Lone Fox from the BrewLab, signing out. Peace, y'all.